Oh, I'm digging those. I'm digging those tunes.
That's
Like,
so
yeah.
cool. Did you all like that new jazzy beginning we got?
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you, Diana.
Thank you, Diana.
You're welcome.
Isn't she
That was fun to
awesome?
make.
Speaking of Diana, welcome everyone who's watching. We're talking about Broken Promises by Diana Muñoz Stewart tonight. We are the Isn't It Romantic Book Club, but we are beaming in live to the Isn't It Romantic Book Club. We're beaming in live to My Dangerously Dark Darlings. We're beaming into Team Source Books, Jennie's Page Turners, and we're on YouTube. So let us know where you're at. Where are you watching us from so that we can kind of just know where everybody's watching from. I'm Abbie Roads. Hi, Michelle. She's here. Michelle, do you see all that Michelle said that
Hey,
was
Michelle.
super cute, our opening?
Hi, Michelle.
I'm Abbie Roads. Here's my little stack of books. Capturing Fate, my big one, is the latest. I write dark romantic thrillers. Think of an episode of Criminal Minds meets a love story with a hint of paranormal, is what I tell people. So, Sharon?
I'll go next. Hey, my name is Sharon Wray. I write romantic suspense, a military romantic suspense. Here's a few of the books. Think like Dan Brown with lots of really hot romance and really sexy green berets. My next book, newest book, Love's Last Kiss. Should be out in November. Yeah, I'm really excited. And working on edits for that right now. And it's back to Jennie.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Jennie Marts here. Don't you love our new ticker tape?
It's so cool.
I love it. I love how you did it, Diana.
So we're having so much fun. And by we, I mean Diana is like the queen of, not only can she write amazing books of
Playing with stuff,
but she also finds all of these fun little things to do for our live stream. And we're just loving it. We appreciate her so much. So I write small town stories with humor and heart. I write a heck of a lot of cowboys and country boys, and I write some cozy mysteries. But my latest, I write, here we go, hockey playing cowboys. I write a horse rescue series with my newest book is When a Cowboy Loves a Woman.
We can never get that right.
This is so uncoordinated. And my latest book from Hallmark is Rescuing Harmony Ranch.
Oh, I love that cover.
Blacksmith and a city girl, second chance romance. I love second chance romance. Don't you guys love
too.
that?
Yeah.
I love them.
Love second chances so much. So I also love hot, steamy romantic suspense. So Abbie, would you like to introduce our
Well, I was going to introduce myself.
No, she wants to introduce herself.
Don't step on my introduction, Jennie.
But before we introduce her, we want to welcome everybody tonight. We want to say thank you so much for watching. And remember that we always love to get as much interaction from you all as possible. So we always, each time we ask, when you ask a question or a comment, then we do a gift card every week to one of our commenters. So, like it's
yeah.
thing.
Just even say hi and you're entered. It's so easy.
Yeah.
My name is Diana Muñoz Stewart. I write romantic suspense for the strong of heart. My Black Ops Confidential series is out and complete. There's 4 books there. And my newest release, Broken Promises, is out now. Luring a serial killer to a remote cabin sounds like a bad idea. The worst idea, staking out that cabin with your ex-fiance. So that's that. So I'm so glad to be here with you guys.
Oh, we're so happy, Diana.
Well, I'll sit back and let you all do the work.
Okay, let me start. Okay, all y'all people keep saying that I'm the one who's sick and twisted in this group. No. That one over there beats me. Like she has got the twisted mind. Were you guys surprised at some of what you read? Did you realize Diana was that twisted?
Well, so Diana, you need to talk about this, and you need to tell us where you came up with this puppeteer business. Like, come on.
But I wasn't that surprised because I'd read all of Diana's other books, and there was always that element underneath. Like there was like a darkness
kind of
underneath.
gritty,
Yeah, a little bit
Yeah.
of grittiness, and like you knew if her editor would let her, she would go there.
Maybe that's why I went there. I didn't.
I
You know, I
know.
was paying my editor.
Switched
I don't-
editors, I know.
Yeah, because I don't remember. Like, I know I read I Am Justice, and I don't remember it being that. I mean, it was had
No,
some
but
stuff, but it was that
thematically,
dark.
Diana
Yeah.
always has had very dark, strong.
Mhm.
And you know what's really upsetting to me? I'm like, it wasn't that dark.
That's what I say about mine too.
Yeah, well, no, yours are dark. I actually want to get a poll. Let's get a poll going. Who's darker?
Good one. Who's darker, Diana or me?
Or
That's
Abbie?
a good one.
Come on.
Yeah. That's our
Wow.
next goal coming up. Okay, so tell us where this puppeteer idea business came from. Was that just like a crazy
Well,
idea?
you know what? It's just the idea came from, first, puppets are creepy, and second, I think that a lot of times women are kind of told what to do. They're kind of like, be this way, act this way, and a lot of the research I did on incel groups, a lot of these people are very upset because women aren't relating to them the way they want to be related to. And I thought, well, you can't really control people that way. And so the puppeteer was born.
Nice.
Do that.
Yeah.
You know, guys, we've got people coming here from all sorts of places. We got
I know.
Rachel from Texas. We've got Deborah Lee from Michigan. We got somebody who's listening while she's driving.
Wow.
Mhm,
Harrisburg,
somebody from
Pennsylvania.
Harrisburg. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's exciting.
And somebody says, I'm sorry, I can't see who. Oh, Marcia says, love your accents. So cool. Marcia, where are you coming from? Because she said good morning on my thing. Are you like Australia, maybe? Someplace
Mhm.
like that?
That's cool.
I didn't think of us. That's neat because
Oh,
you probably
Perth.
have a neat accent.
Australia.
Yes,
Michelle's
that's
Illinois.
cool.
Michelle,
Very
we're in
cool.
Illinois. My daughter's moving to Chicago in 2 weeks.
Nice. And we have Ohio too. Oh, we love you.
Oh,
that you
man,
guys
I love
are
it.
here with us.
That's fantastic.
Oh, hey, Ohio. I'm in Marion. I don't know where you're at, but I'm Marion, Central Ohio.
I'm Pennsylvania. I don't know if I ever mentioned that before.
Diane, I have to ask, have you been, you had your descriptions of Canada were so
yeah.
vibrant. Have you been
Oh,
there?
man, I
know
want
you
to go
like
to
the camp.
Canada so bad. Have they let us in yet? Come
No.
on, Canada.
But I know you camp, and I know you like to do a lot of the outdoorsy things, but I didn't know if you'd actually made it all the way up there.
Well, I've been to British Columbia, Vancouver, but not Vancouver Island. And I wanted to go there. We actually made plans to go there the summer that just passed. And we had rented a house, and my husband and I were going to go, and people were going to meet us there, and it was going to be so much fun. And then they're like, no, we don't want you here. So I was like, oh, so sad. Are you sure, Canada? And they're like, yeah, stay away. So we had to switch, and then we ended up going to Yosemite in California, which was amazing, but super hot.
Oh, but that was amazing.
Yeah. So the only way I knew about everything, I mean, I just immersed myself in research and in videos. And, you know, I actually went on like local newspapers and was reading local things. And it was great. And really made me want to go there even more. Like, I just think that would be so much fun.
Just not like with serial killers and
no, God, no, that would, I just want the camping and the hiking. Yeah.
and the kayaking. Yeah. That sounded like fun. I would love to do that.
Originally, when I wrote the book, I had a scene in it where the heroine scares away a bear with her scream. And I took it out because I wanted to, it was just too long, too much in the woods, but I still love that scene.
I'd be terrified. I don't know what I would do if I'd seen a bear.
Same.
I would have been terrified.
Diana, you know, one thing I think I've already known this about you, but I think it came through reading this was I feel like you're a nature lover, you know, because just like reading about how, you know, she's walking along the trail and she stops to like just admire things and look at it. And this was so real. I mean, that's what I think a real nature lover does. And I think you like captured that really well.
Oh my God. I love to hike so much. And I totally do that. Like, I'll just look at that stone. Or do you see the way this plant looks? Like, do we know what kind of plant this is? And yeah, I absolutely love to hike, and I love to take in all the little bits and the big bits. And, you know, there's nothing better than that feeling of getting to the top of something and looking out and just being able to see the whole world.
Do you rock
Diana,
climb?
you need to go on hikes with my husband because, you know, his background is was a park ranger for years.
I know. I'm so jealous of you.
Every time we go on a hike, he tells what kind of plant this is.
Oh my God.
About the deer that, you know,
You
this
still
is
my heart.
because we love this and this is,
Yeah.
and I can never remember any of it. And he's so good at remembering all of it. And it's so funny, Sharon, that you say that you would be so terrified if you see a bear. Where we live at our house, we have bears in our trash. So we have bears on our house. So.
And what do? You just like, yeah.
Do you do anything?
Yeah, we run out there and look at them. Like, we had one across the street that got a hold of somebody's bag of trash, and he just went and sat down in her yard and just dug out of the trash and was eating it.
Adorable.
Yeah, we take pictures and we.
Well, I want to see
Oh
some.
my gosh.
I never seen
I'm
the
a
bear
bag
eating
crying.
trash, the Yogi
We
Bear in the trash.
We
I have
don't have
raccoons and
anything
deer.
like that. Yeah, we have raccoons, and that's
And
about
I have
the most.
bobcats.
I have
I
a lot
have
of
a
deer.
bobcat go across my windowsill, and I'm in town. It's not like I'm in the country. I'm in town.
Wow.
We just-
I have to take a picture. I want to see a picture, Jenny.
Well, and I was in Colorado once, and I was staying at Margie's house, who a friend, somebody we all know. And I said, "Can I go running in the morning?" And they're like, "Yeah, well, maybe if you took a big stick." And I'm like, "What the hell do I need a big stick for?" You know? Yeah. No, they were saying some kind of a cat will like jump out of a tree and get me, and I'm like, "Okay,
Oh my
I'm not
God.
going running." Like,
Mountain lion, yeah. Mountain lion, bears, rattlesnakes.
mhm.
That's,
Hey, Leisha's asked, what inspired you to write your dark book, Diana?
Anger.
nice.
Very nice. Tell us about the anger.
Well, you know what? I was just angry at some of the news stories I was hearing about men who were like driving their cars into groups of women, and just, you know, incels and people who wanted to control women's voices. And that just kind of set me off. And then I ended up finding a love story in there. I ended up finding a story about two people who, you know each other and speak to each other. And, you know, when the second chance about it is that they never really stopped loving each other, you know, and that to me was the magic of the book. Like,
I agree.
when we get to that point where, you know, I don't want to ruin the last scene for everybody, but that last scene, I was like sobbing. It's like, you know, this is it. This is what everything was about. And it wasn't about the anger. It was about the relationship. And it was about someone who does respect her and does want to be there for her. And I think I heard someone say it, and I think it was Angelina Lopez said that there's cinnamon bun alphas. So alpha cinnamon bun. And, you know, a hero that's sweet, but also strong. And I think that Brooks is that.
I agree.
Well,
I agree he is.
Yeah. What I loved was that there was not a lot of rancor or angry bitterness and the sniping at each other in the beginning. Like, I was, you never know with second chance romances how they're going to react to each other. And I loved the fact that there was sadness more than there was hurt or anger.
Yeah, I think at that point they'd gotten over the anger, because it had been 8 years. You know?
Exactly. That's what I loved.
Yeah.
I loved that they had moved on to build lives that were not perfect, but that it was clear they still loved each other, but they didn't hate each other.
Like, yeah. One of my favorite scenes in that book is one of my favorite scenes in that book is when she says to him, you know, she's grown tough skin and he can just basically tell her everything. And he basically says to her, you know, that when I'm with you, the music is everywhere, you know, and that basically he tells her the sweetest, nicest thing you want to hear. And that she can't handle because she's forgotten how to be, you know, to be receptive to sweetness and niceness. And I think that's something that he brings out in her, you know.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Hey,
I agree.
Marcia's asking, if you're killing off a character, do you name that character after someone who annoyed you?
Do you guys?
I have not yet because I'm afraid. You
I
have?
Oh, I have. Robert and his son Junior named after my sister's ex-husband. Yep.
No, I have not. You're braver than I am, Abbie. I have not done that yet. How about you, Diana? Have you killed off anybody?
No, you know, I actually go out of my way to avoid like naming people names that I know, you know, and it gets hard because you know a lot of people and you realize like, oh no, I can't name them that. But the book the short story I'm writing right now, I'm using everybody's name. I'm not going to kill anybody off. It's a very sweet romance, but I'm just using everybody's, and maybe because it is sweet and I don't usually write sweet, that I figure it's safe to put people in there.
Well, I also love the fact that because it felt more realistic that they waited to recommit to each other in bed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't just like, oh, boom, up against a wall, second scene, right? I really loved because you built the tension so beautifully.
Oh, thank you.
That scene where she was standing in the window and he's watching her. From the
Oh,
lake.
yeah.
Like that, I really loved how you built the tension up because you knew they were going to get together. But
right. I think the tension was too about just admitting that after everything that they've been through and coming to a place where they can be vulnerable with each other again, especially when she built up so many walls. You know,
Michelle said, I really respected how Brooks waited to break things off with his friend before he got involved with Fee. I totally agree with that. I thought that was great.
Oh, yeah.
Because he would have been like a cheater otherwise, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that's not who he is, you know, and it would have been disrespectful. And originally the way I had it, I never had a conversation with her and him. I just kind of had it happening. But once I had that conversation, I realized there's a good opportunity here to kind of further the plot. And
well, I also wondered if for the slightest moment, because I wondered in the beginning if Ed was a woman, but I didn't know who, and I didn't know if.
Oh, you're smarter than me. I did not see that.
Well, I don't want to spoil things too much, but I didn't know. But when he was at the time when we had that phone call with her, I even wondered if she was involved somehow. Like, you know what I mean? Like if she was involved in the suspense plot somehow.
Who?
Was her Natalie? I think her name was Natalie. The woman he was having a relationship with. I wondered if, because the way you structured that phone call, and she had been gone for a couple weeks.
Right.
Wow.
Sharon, that's clever. You see, you're way too
did
clever.
That's how my mind works. I'm always like, everyone is a suspect.
Well, I have to tell you how my mind works. I really do kill off characters people.
Really?
I put people's names in there all the time that I don't like, or somebody that I didn't like from high school.
And now they're dead. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You had to go.
I would never have suspected that of you, Jenny.
I do.
I love this comment. Sometimes the anger brings in the beauty.
Yeah, Beverly said that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's true too, and I've seen that in other books. I've seen it in your book, Abbie. You know, I joke about how twisted you are, but there is a loveliness there, a beauty there too.
Well, thank you. That's very sweet of you to say. What a compliment.
Diana, are you going to do a series of books like this with some of the other men in the family?
Or with all those other women that we met.
The other women.
Yeah, or the other women.
Yeah, it's going to be the other women. So each of the women. So Flor is next in Puerto Rico. Yeah, so Flor is in Puerto Rico, and someone has put a bounty on her mother, her mother is absconded with money.
Okay, so you're gonna give us the rest of those little stories, so we know what happened to the mothers of each one of those women.
Right.
Okay. Oh,
and the mothers are all connected. The mothers all have a connection, and that is the thread that ties them all together. And I've already written the last scene of the last book, so I know where it's all going, just not how I'm going to get there.
How it all.
Yeah.
How many books are you anticipating, Diana?
4.
Okay.
And it's scary to me because they're all like almost happening at the same time.
Mhm.
So,
So
but each one,
Laura, Jazz, and Allie are next.
yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought was going to happen next. I thought we were going to get all their stories. And is it all still going to it'll all interweave and?
yes, yeah. Let's hope so.
And
You know,
Diana, do you speak Spanish?
So I am on my father's side, I'm one of 8 children, and 6 of us speak Spanish and 2 of us don't. And out of the 2 that don't, I'm one of them. So I speak very little, and I can understand better than I can speak. But yeah, it's to my great shame that I'm trying to learn now. You know, my dad speaks Spanish, my mom speaks Spanish. It's just one of those flukes of growing up that it just didn't stick.
Were you one of the
Were
younger
you the
ones?
youngest?
And I am. No, I'm not. So my mom and dad divorced, and then my mom married someone else who didn't speak Spanish, so that we grew up really not speaking Spanish in that house. But then my dad went out on to have another family, and that other family is the one, you know, all the fluent Spaniards. And he is Spanish. He's Spaniard.
Okay.
Very cool.
So, so whose book is next then, Diana?
Flora.
Flora.
In
Okay.
Puerto
Is she the
Rico,
one with
yeah.
Lacey? Who's the one with the other
With the bodyguard?
bodyguard, the really hot bodyguard?
Oh, that's Allie.
Okay.
Allie. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got to say, I'm kind of excited for that book.
that's the last one.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm
You're
super
gonna make
excited
us
about it
wait.
too.
Well, you did great hero baiting with that one.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Oh, I adore him. And the story behind that is so fascinating too. So his father ran and owned the security company that he now works at, and who was guarding Allie and her dad the day the mom tried to kill her.
Oh.
And his father protected them, and his father died saving Allie and the dad from the mom.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Yeah. So we find that out.
Oh, I can't wait to read that one. That one's
I know.
number 4?
Yeah.
I have goosebumps. That sounded so good.
I know, that sounded
Yeah.
great.
Hey, guys, if you're out there watching, make sure you ask any questions of Diana or any of us, really. We're all here
Yeah.
to answer
Well, I'd
questions.
like to know, are you guys a plotter or a discovery writer? I love this discovery writer thing. So
Is
instead
that a
of
pantser? No, is that a pantser?
Is that a pantser?
Yeah, it's a pantser, discovery writer. Is it the coolest? It's the coolest.
It is cool.
I heard this the other day and I had to use it. So I'm kind of, you know, I know the beginning, I know the end, and then I'm totally discovering along the way, which leads to lots of twists and turns. What about you, Abbie?
I usually have maybe one scene somewhere in the book that I know I want to write, and I start and know nothing.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my first 50 pages probably take usually the longest for me to get them right, because I'm discovering who my characters are and all that, just kind of getting their quirks out, you know, figuring out how to not make them flat and all that. And it's like every time I try to plan who a character is going to be, it's like if I know it ahead of time, I don't want to write it. I don't know why. It's annoying to me that I can't seem to plan that.
So you don't write that one scene that you want to, like that's not the first scene you start with?
No, I usually have it in my head and I know I'm going to get to it. And I've, like in Capturing Fate, it was this scene where Killian kind of gutted Dolan. That one I knew was going to be in there. And I wrote maybe the first 50 pages, got stuck, and then wrote that scene knowing it would be like somewhere further in the book, you know, and then went back. And so I did write that one a little bit about order, but that's the only time I've ever done that. So,
Oh, interesting.
how about you guys?
And I used to be a pantser much more, and I would let the story, you know, kind of discover and come to me and all that. And then when I had like 4 books due in a year, like I just didn't quite have the time to be able to, like, I had to know what Yeah, I didn't have time to discover. As Nora Roberts says, like, there is no effing muse. Like, you just got to get your butt in the chair and get to writing and get working. And I needed to, and I started writing longer books. And so then I needed to start plotting. So I do have a loose plot figured out. So I call myself a plantser. Not quite a plotter, not quite a plantser, because I do have things that I discover in the middle, or that I come up with in the middle, or I might say like, okay, I need to have an event that they're going to go to, and it might take me halfway through the book to figure out it's going to be an apple picking. I've never written an apple picking venture, but I'm going to have to now. But like a barn dance to raise money for the rescue horses. I just turned in edits today. So, and I just was reading about it.
You're still going. The ideas are still flowing.
And Sharon, you have
along the way, but I try to plot out the story and the motivations and the character arc and have all that figured out.
That's so funny that you say that about time, because you know you're pressed for time, so that just kind of makes you focus and go through it as quickly as possible. And I'm writing this short story, and I'm finding that I'm doing that. I'm actually more, plotting it. Like, I need this needs to happen because I need to get here, and I only have 3,000 more words. I think this whole story is supposed to be 10,000 words. Oh my God. So I can't do that either.
Sharon's mortified.
Having a heart attack.
And Sharon, you have to be a plotter with how intricate stories are.
I am half and half. So the first thing I plot out were my transformational arcs. And because the series is so long and it's so interconnected, I've actually plotted out our transformational arcs for many, many characters over each book. Like, so like the hero and the heroine has their transformational arc. And then if I have a secondary hero, he's going to have a small arc in that book, but I already know it's going to feed into his arc in his book. And so I have the arcs figured out. I have the turning points figured out.
And that's why your characters are so good.
Oh, sweet. And I always know the thing, like what they're looking for. Are they solving a cipher? Are they looking for a treasure? Are they, whatever the device is, I always know that ahead of time.
And so when you wrote the last book that you wrote, which was started out as a novella and ended up as a novel.
Yeah.
What are they searching for? Are they searching for a treasure, or?
They are actually searching for an envelope, but they don't know what's in the envelope. She was supposed to courier something.
That sounds like me. I've searched for many in an envelope.
Yeah. She's supposed to courier something for somebody and get paid. Money in it. And he dies in the first book. And she can't find him, and he's not a good character. And the deeper she looks for him to find the envelope, she just wants to deliver the darn envelope so she get her money. But what's in the envelope ends up being like really critical to the entire series.
Oh, fun.
But she doesn't know that until, because as she's looking for the envelope, she can't figure out why everybody is now interested in her envelope. And they're coming, it's the danger is coming from all
that seems like a euphemism. Everybody wants to get in her envelope.
Yeah, everyone's getting her envelope, including the hero. So
yes, including the hero.
Including the hero.
Well, and
my novella that started at 20,000 words is now 104,000 words.
Wow. That's huge.
My bucket list goal is to be in an anthology with a bunch of other authors to prove I can write a 10,000
do a short one. So here's a question, because I know for me, like, I really, really count on my tribe of writers. So I might know like why they break up, but I don't know what the grand gesture is going to be for how he's going to win her back or something. And I am notorious for calling up my writer friend going, okay, I need a scene where, cowboy boots and a goat and a grand gesture and
there's gotta be a goat
and and superhero underwear, and how can I fit this all together? So I am notorious for always calling up a friend going, oh my gosh, I'm stuck. I don't know what's going to happen here. I know these 3 elements have to happen. And I love plotting it through and talking it through with other writer friends. Do you guys use your other writer friends like that?
I use my husband. I'll
I
be
use my
like,
husband too.
you.
I use
I'll
my
be
husband
like,
too.
hey, I'm stuck. I was thinking about doing this and then this. And he'll say, oh, I think you should do that. And I'll be like, no, I'm not going to do that. That won't work. I've got this other idea over here and it's going to be a lot better than your idea.
Yeah, we go on a lot of walks and a lot of hikes, and we'll be like walking through, the meadow or Garden of the Gods or whatever, and I'll be like spinning this tale of blah blah blah. And half the time, I think, like you just said, Abbie, just saying it out loud
Yeah,
and talking it through gives you all these ideas. But I have had Todd come up with like great plot twists, and I'm just like,
Wow.
I'm
So
gonna
is
use
my
that.
husband. My husband has too. He's great. As long as I don't go into too much detail. I just say I need a man to do such and such, and this is what I want him to feel. Like Diana, do you have a critique partner?
Well, you know what? I have an editor, and when I'm done, I hand it off. But if I have a problem, I will talk to whoever is available just to get an idea. And sometimes it's like with Abbie, I really don't need them to give me an idea. I need them to hear me talk so that I can release the idea.
Yeah.
And, I find that if I get to a place where I'm like really stuck and something's not working, I can't move forward. I can't like jump to another scene. I can't jump over the issue. I have to kind of figure it out. And that can be like a real sticking point for me.
Yeah.
Like, how do I get out of this or past this?
Diana, you and I are a lot alike like that. When I get somewhere and I'm stuck, I just can't, I'll come back to that. No, I gotta figure it out.
And then something clicks, maybe, you write from a different point of view or whatever. And you realize, oh, the reason I can't move forward is because there's a mistake here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you unwind it.
Yeah. I can almost think for like some writers, I don't think it's all writers. I think like I sometimes feel like there's an intuitiveness when I know something's wrong, and it's like, I may not know what it is, but I know something somewhere is not right. And it's like, I can't move on until I fix whatever that problem is, even though I don't know what the problem is.
Yeah.
And that's what takes time, is sometimes just figuring that out before I can move on.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we do need to just be like, there's your plot. This is
right. Right.
It's already figured out for you.
Diana,
go ahead. Sharon.
I was going to say, what was the hardest? What was the hardest scene in Broken Promises? What was one of the harder scenes to write?
That first scene when she finds her mom.
Oh, I bet
that was really hard.
That really sucked you in.
Yes,
you did that good.
Yeah, it was just hard. That was just really hard. And originally, when I had written it, I had written Brooks and Felicity, their points of view in the breakup. It had started in a diner, and you get her take and his take and all of that. And then I realized, well, this isn't really where the story starts. And actually, you know what? I talked to Adriana Anders, and she said to me, no one wants to read the breakup.
You just hear her saying that.
That's right. Yeah. So I took that out and then started with that scene where she walks in and finds her mom. And it was just horrifying, because yeah.
So I have a writer friend that describes it like this, that when she talks about writing your beginning, and if any of you are listening that are writers, this is a kind of a clever way to think about it. So if you walk into work and your desk has some sand on it or some crumbles of dirt, you can brush that off and go on with your day. But if you walk into work and there is a boulder sitting in the middle of your desk, that changes your ordinary life. Something is different. So figure out what in that first, 2 paragraphs, put the boulder in. Like, what is the boulder? What changes their life? That's not just something
the drama, the catalyst.
Like, what is the inciting, boulder / inciting incident, whatever. But, how did this change their ordinary life? Oh, somebody's home at my house. I'm going to mute for a minute so you guys don't hear my dogs barking.
Hey, Beverly had a question. She wanted to know, do you research serial killers so you don't overlap a real story with your books?
I did a lot of research on serial killers, and I actually watched shows on serial killers. Netflix has some serial killer shows, and yeah, I mean, I do a lot, and it is really like you get to a point where you're like, oh man, I don't want to read any more of this because it's a lot of darkness there, but it also is fascinating the way the mind works and the way the mind can like go off the rails and convince someone of something to the point that, they can't see anything but that idea.
Yeah.
And
creepy.
Leisha says, do you ladies like it quiet when you write, or do you need noise or music when you write?
That's a good question.
It is a good question. When I'm drafting, I like quiet music or silence. When I'm editing, the house could be burning down. I don't care. It could be chaos in the house, which often happens.
No.
But
I like it quiet. I've kind of said this before in some of our other groups. I like it quiet for the most part, but if I do listen to music, I can't listen to music with words in it because then I just start singing, or I listen to the lyrics and get caught up in that. So I try to listen to like classical music or piano, blah, blah, blah. And I found that I wrote really slow. So I write to bluegrass instrumental. And like in the background, and my fingers will actually try to keep up with the music.
Wow.
So I mean, just try this someday. Go to Amazon Prime Music or Spotify or whatever and put in bluegrass instrumental. And you get like dueling banjos going, and your fingers literally will try to keep up with like ding 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 ding, and it goes so fast, and your fingers try to keep up with the pace of the music, and you actually end up typing faster.
that's a great idea.
I don't know if that would work for me because I'm so used to noise. We had, I raised 7 kids, and we have a big family, and there's always somebody here, that I listen to music so that I have something to tune out. So I'm listening to music so that I can ignore the music.
That's funny, Diana.
That's really funny.
Abbie, do you like it quiet, or do you like the...
I'm more of a quiet person. Like, I don't like a lot of noise. I enjoy being outside with the sounds of nature. You know what I mean? Like, not fake nature sounds, but like real nature sounds. I do enjoy writing outside. And sometimes I'll listen to like classical or piano stuff like you, Jenny. Sometimes I'll do that if I just feel like I'm not getting in the groove or something, just to try to change things up. And it's funny because in Race to Darkness, my hero has supercharged hearing, so I couldn't write with any sound at all. But then in Hunt the Dawn, he's deaf and craves noise, craves to be able to hear. And so I listened to like heavy metal, like when I was writing that one. And then that's the only 2 times I've ever had music really when I was writing.
Well, I want you guys to do an experiment and try to do like a 15-minute sprint with classical music and try to do a 15-minute.
We should totally do that. We should all like
with bluegrass
online. And be like,
yeah, it can't be, it can't have words in it, but like the Orange Blossom Special or Dueling Banjos or something. And I just want to see if it works. We'll have to report back at the next month.
How did you come up with that idea?
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like bluegrass music, so I just was looking for like guitar instrumental, or I have no idea. I've been doing it for years, so.
Well, it works.
Well, Diana,
it really does. Weird.
When is the next book in the series coming out? Do you have a title yet? Are you working on it?
I was trying to think of a title. I should definitely ask the group because my first title was Broken Promises, and then I kept trying to put it out, and then my dad got sick, and then all this stuff happened, and I was like, the deadline kept moving, so I was like, I don't want anything near broken, but I do want to keep something of the title and the other titles, so I thought something with promises, but I don't know. Any suggestions?
Secret Promises.
Secret Promises. Oh.
I think that's cool though. Like if you give the readers a chance to like vote on
it. Yeah.
Something with promises, Yeah.
And that'll be out next year. So I have
Sacred
Story that I'm working on, and I have my Golden Heart book that I wrote years ago, Mind Traveler. It's a YA science fiction that is completely written, and now I'm going to edit it and put it out before I start the next.
That's
cool.
exciting.
Yeah, I'm super excited. It's about a girl who has to save the world from her future self.
Ooh.
Is it adult or young adult?
It's young adult. You know, kids are always, you know, when you're a child, you're like, wow, when I get to be an adult, I will never be anything like my mom. Or I will never be anything like. And so this kid is like, who is that? You know, this person that she turns into is someone who is, you know, not a good person. So.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's a great idea too.
Diana, how long does it take you to write a book?
You know, it depends. The COVID, the last year was crazy, and it took me forever to finish this book. And even when I had it finished and sent it off, when I got notes back on, I was like, you know what, I need to redo this whole thing because I just wasn't in the right headspace. So I'd say I need at least 6 months. I'm not like Jenny, who is.
I know.
What is
like
for you, Jenny? 2 months or 6 weeks? Or,
2 weeks to write a novel?
3 months.
huh?
Usually 3 months.
3 months. Okay.
Although I wrote that last one in 9.5 weeks. So
Wow. And you turned in 2 today?
no, I had edits this week.
Oh,
So
edits.
I had edits for the Hallmark book that were due on Monday and edits for source books that were due today.
Okay, and
Wow.
they're all in.
They're all in, yeah.
Good for
One
you.
was a galley edit, so it's just a proofread at the end. So
yeah.
it took me 3 days to proof it, but
But you know, you never know with galleys.
So tomorrow you're at the pool, Jenny.
yeah. So tomorrow, exactly. I did sneak over to swim yesterday for an hour after.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. Well, Leisha wants to know if you ladies could have a superpower for a day, what would it be and why? I know what mine is. If I could have a superpower, it would be to manipulate time.
Ooh.
To go back in time.
Oh, yeah.
That would be my superpower.
When my son was little, I always used to say to him, if I had a superpower, it would be to make things bigger and smaller. Because you could just like transfer food to countries and be like, here, bam, now you got lots of food. Or, you know, just do lots of things like that. But now that I'm older, I realize I'd like to fly. Like things that fly are so obnoxious. I sit outside and there's dragonflies and flies whizzing by, and they are in another class. They don't even care. They're like, whatever, you're so slow, earthbound.
Gravity.
I'm afraid of heights. I don't think I could do that one. I would have to fly like 4 feet off the ground.
You want to hover. You just want to hover, Jenny.
I like the time travel because I always think I wish I could go back and just spend one day with my kids when they were little again.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why I would manipulate time.
You know, go have supper with my grandma again and you know.
Oh, man.
You know.
I was just talking to someone the other day, and she was telling me that, you know, she wants to send her daughter loving energy. So what she does is pictures her daughter as a child, and then she pictures herself holding her daughter. And she like puts herself totally back in that place, you know, when she's worried about her child, so that she can send that kind of peaceful.
That is wonderful.
Yeah, I thought it was so sweet.
What about you, Abbie? What would your superpower be?
Kill people.
You're touch. Midas touch.
Come on. I'll tell you what I would want to do. I would want to be able to teleport. Like,
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a good one. That's a really good one.
man, I'll tell you, there's nothing I hate more than having to fly on a plane. It's so daggone annoying. It's not comfortable. It's not fun, you know, to get somewhere. Or if you drive there, it takes forever. Like, it would just be nice to, boom, I'm there. You know?
Like in Star Trek, energy.
Right. Right.
I was thinking like flu powder, you know, you could just
Or flu powder. I could handle either
I
one.
would do that. I would
You
totally
know?
do that. As long as you could also go back and forth in time. I would do it
I
all.
want to know who listens to dubstep. All I see is Facebook user. Do you guys have a name on who listens to
No,
dubstep?
I don't have it on mine. I don't have it on mine.
No,
All I see is Facebook user. I'm trying to figure out who that is, but I love that you listen to dubstep. That's really fun.
That is fun. I have to try that one too. I wonder which is faster, dubstep or bluegrass.
Dueling banjos.
Dueling banjos.
But you know what? It's funny. Like that dubstep might be more my speed because I see Jenny like, well, you need like the dueling banjos because of you write cowboys. That makes sense. You know, I feel like I would need a cowboy to write to that.
Oh, yeah, but I do it when I write hockey players too. I do it all the time. It just speeds up my brain.
Oh, Hannah's the one who said she
Hannah.
Okay, Hannah.
Oh,
Sorry, Hannah.
I love it.
We can't
Hey,
see you on
Hannah.
StreamYard. They hide your name, so we apologize.
Yeah.
So Alicia wants to know, what is the most amount of books that you ladies have written in a year? Jenny?
Right, Jenny. Are you kidding?
No.
God.
It was
Were they
a
all,
crazy year. It was a crazy year.
were they
What?
all 90 to 100,000 words?
No,
Okay.
no, I think I might have had a couple novellas that year.
That is fantastic. Good
Still
for you.
impressed. Still impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine.
I'm just one book.
Yeah, I think because after you write it, you edit it. So it might take you, 6 months to write, and then you have to edit it. And before
takes
you
me
know
9
it,
months.
even if you start another book, it's not done until the next year. So yeah.
Well, and it's
I
funny
could do
because
2 in 18 months.
you did 2 in 18 months, Sharon.
Good for you.
Look how long your books are. That is impressive.
But then they didn't publish them. Like they, I got them in, but then like, oh, we're gonna wait a year. But yeah, I can't do anything about that.
So
Nothing I can
frustrating.
do about that. But yes, so it takes me 6 months to write 150,000 words, and then I edit it down
What?
to 130. It takes me.
Jenny,
3 months
she's
to
putting
edit
you
it.
to shame. Do you hear that?
I only have. Look how many books Jenny has compared to me. If I cut my books into 20,000 increments, like, oh my gosh, I would have like 15 books done by.
Yeah.
Isn't that depressing?
That's the key. You have to write shorter.
I know.
Just remind
Well,
everyone,
and I
Jenny.
think my first publishing house was a lot more, you had to turn stuff in like 3 or 4 days, the turnaround time, everything just moved really, really fast. And I had a lot of deadlines, and did some anthologies, and I could write a 25,000 word novella in 9 days. And
Wow.
I'm a lot slower now. Although I guess that last book I just wrote was 9.5 weeks, 95,000 words. So
That's
So
a
do you
lot.
have a schedule, Jenny? Are you this time to this time every day?
no, I just shoot for 2,000 to 3,000 words a day and shoot for 10,000 words a week. So
Wow.
I mean,
you,
yeah, I
Diana?
do have
Do
it
that?
scheduled out, but I don't say like I write from 8 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon and take an hour break for lunch and watch Netflix. I'm a really slow eater.
So is it
about you,
easier
Diana?
now that you're not at the bank, right? I mean, because you were at the.
Yes. Yeah, I get to write full time now, which is super, super exciting.
That's cool.
nice.
Diana, what about you? What's your writing schedule look like?
Yeah, I like to write in the morning, so I write maybe 9 to 2, or if I take a break for lunch, I might write a little longer, but yeah, so not every single day. Some days I'll be like, it's beautiful out, right? But yeah, I try my best. I try to keep a schedule.
Cool. What about you, Sharon?
Yeah, I'm scheduled too. I try to write in the morning and then do all the other things that I have to do in the afternoon. Like
I don't have kids at home anymore either, though, so that makes a difference too. So it's just me and the dogs hanging out.
So it's been hard. It's been hard this summer. My kids are home, and I love having them home. But it changes everything because my husband doesn't really like. I'm not cooking when it's just the two of us. I don't need to do a lot of cooking when the kids are home. There's laundry and there's food and there's food shopping and there's.
And you want to talk to
emotional
them, hang out
needs.
with them. Yes. Emotional needs.
So I asked the group, the participation question was, have you ever been to an isolated cabin in the woods? So I need to know if you guys have ever been to an isolated cabin in the woods.
I have. Scary as anything.
No, not to me. I love it.
Do you love it?
I do. Love it.
We have a cabin in the mountains like that Todd's family has had for years, and it's like one of our favorite places, but it's pretty out there all by itself.
Yeah, I grew up going. My father had a cabin, not a cabin, a trailer, like this old trailer, and he had this group of friends that he had known since childhood, and he would take all us kids up there, and they would just drink and basically leave us to our devices, and we were just wandering the woods.
Fun.
Yeah.
Well, and I wonder if it matters if you're like a city person or a country person, because I grew up out in the country and there was like we didn't have any neighbors. Like we were just like by ourselves, surrounded by cornfields, and the big fun was to walk down the road and visit the creek down the road,
The creek.
Yeah,
it's hysterical.
Yeah, and that was like the big fun, of our day, and so I don't know, I just grew up like that. So that I like cabins, that's nothing. That sounds nice.
I think I was traumatized by a young age. I was in a cabin in the Jersey Pine Barrens, and before I went, a bunch of people were telling me stories about the Jersey Devil. I was young.
Oh.
I was so scared. Like I knew the Jersey Devil was coming for me. Every sound, I was so scared. And I'm like, I'll go to
who's the Jersey Devil? Is this something I should
you
know?
live in Pennsylvania, and you're not. He could cross the border. He crossed the river and find you.
I know, I was in danger, Sharon.
Look up, Google the Jersey Devil and the New Jersey Pine Barrens. The New Jersey Pine Barrens are this terrifying, desolate, awful area outside of Fort Dix, New Jersey. And it's just, there's nothing there except
now, is the Jersey Devil real, or is this like a Bigfoot type myth?
Well, he's as real as Bigfoot.
Okay.
Hey, but I think Bigfoot might be real.
I know. So I heard the Jersey Devil outside my cabin. I know it was the Jersey Devil. Real. Just don't go to the Pine Barrens. So I'm sure a nice little cabin in Colorado or Ohio, Pennsylvania is fine, because the Jersey Devil is not going to walk that far.
Well, he's old now, Sharon. He's using a cane.
I'm sure if I was there by myself, I would probably be scared, because I always think someone's out to murder me. So if I were there all alone, it would probably be different. But
I can't believe that you've never heard of the Jersey Devil. I'm going to send you some links later.
Yeah, send me some links. I feel uneducated now. I haven't. Well, in my defense, the Jersey Devil isn't real.
They even did an episode about the Jersey Devil in The Sopranos.
They did?
Yes, and two of the mafioso guys were running around the Pine Barrens. They were terrified because they knew the Jersey Devil was going to get them. I'm going to link that to you.
That's too funny.
On YouTube. So
we have somebody from Germany. Vi is here. Vi Evans.
Oh, hi.
Welcome.
That's neat. We have Germany and Australia today.
Oh, that's really exciting.
That is really cool. We're international now.
So Diana, where are the other books in the series going to take place? Do you know yet?
The next one's taking place in Puerto Rico, and I'm really hoping.
Can you?
My brother and his wife live in Puerto Rico, and I'm really hoping to go there and be able to write part of it. So that's my plan.
Great.
Oh, I'm so super excited about it.
That would be great. Hopefully you can get down there, no problem.
Yeah. So, and I'm not too worried about that one. The one after that, there's a little part where they have to go to Iran, and I'm super worried about that. I'm like, how am I going to do this? Like, this is impossible. But I spoke with someone who is from Iran, and they said they would help me out. So we'll see.
Nice.
That's good. And in the fourth book, do you know yet?
No, I don't. I think it's going to be in the United States somewhere. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
But I know that they go all over because it's very scary.
Diana, of all
Hopefully
of your
they go
heroes,
to Jersey and meet the Jersey Devil.
Yeah, there you go. The Jersey. We've got to figure out a way to put the Jersey Devil. It's a challenge. Gauntlet thrown. Every one of us, the Jersey Devil has to make an appearance in one of your books.
That would be cool. We should.
Yeah, let's do it.
We all have to put the Jersey Devil in one of our books.
There you go.
Oh, Alicia, you lived in Puerto Rico for 6 months? Cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I've only been there for work. I've never been there actually even for a vacation. So I would love to go one day.
What kind of work were you doing?
I worked for a pharmaceutical company. We had for Johnson & Johnson, and we had plants down there. It was for an FDA inspection.
You have the neatest jobs.
And she just throws out these crazy stories, right?
I was just a librarian, but
Sounds like more than a librarian.
Sure you were, Sharon.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
I
Like
was.
that
So Diana,
show, The Librarian.
I seriously was a librarian. But that was at a time when having a librarian was still like a real job that you could make money in.
It's still a real
Doing.
job.
Yeah.
Which is not the case anymore.
Well, there's still information science, right? People
think
take
I froze.
information science.
So Diana, yeah, but not like it was. Google's pretty much replaced all the jobs, and now that everything's electronic, they don't need catalogers or indexers. Or one of my jobs where I went to Puerto Rico was I was the archivist for a drug. Like they have a librarian attached to every drug under development, and so I would keep all the lab notebooks, all the research, everything, and then as it goes through the FDA approval process, the archivist goes everywhere and documents everything.
Well, it seems like they're still going to need someone to do that, right?
No, it's all done electronically now.
Oh, wow.
No, it's all those jobs are gone. But whatever. Anyway, Diana, I had a question. Of all of the books you've written now, do you have a favorite hero? Because I kind of felt like Brooks was up there.
I think my favorite hero is probably, oh my gosh, let me see now. Maybe Sandash in the first book, I Am Justice.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he was just so sweet, and she was so mean. And I just, I just thought he was just the most gentle heart, and he helped her out, even though she was basically using him and his company to, sow mischief and try and, be a vigilante. So.
Well, I did love him too, but maybe it's always the last hero you read, right? Is your favorite?
Yeah.
When you're writing it, it's the hero you're writing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Definitely.
I agree with that.
Oh, you guys, this hour has gone by so fast.
Yes, so fast.
Diana, is there anything else you want us to ask you?
Let me go to my banners. Did we
ask you all the questions you wanted?
Yes. I mean, there's 4 books in the series.
Let's see. Okay, sorry.
Oh.
I set up questions in advance because I'm the one who comes in here. I was like, I'll just type in the questions in advance. But they didn't ask me those questions.
What was the other question? What was the one about Felicity's mother that we were supposed to ask?
Broken Promises hints at an unknown past with Felicity's mother. Do you know the past already? And the answer is yes, I do. Thanks for asking.
Right.
And he had an affair with the Jersey Devil.
With the Sharon, I sent you a message too, just so you make sure you see that in the chat for what your segment is coming up.
Okay.
With our poll question.
Yes. Okay. So our poll question.
Go ahead. You can use the second one.
Okay. So this is in anticipation of next month's book. So, and we put out 4 questions every month so that you guys guess the answer to each question. It's going to be we are the answer. So you match the author with the question, and it gives you a chance to get to know us a little bit better. So this question is all about dating. So the first question is, who married the first man she ever dated? Was it me, Diana, Abbie, or Jennie? Who met her current husband on a blind date by phone? Again, pre-internet, which doesn't really help you narrow down the answer.
We all had corded phones.
Yeah, we all had pre-internet boyfriends.
Yeah.
Which author dated her own cousin for 3 months before she figured out he was her cousin? And which author showed up in a mini skirt and a white fringed boots to go out on a date that was to hike up a mountain?
Oh God, that's funny.
Okay.
All right, are we ready for the big reveal?
Yeah.
All right, so our next book is Dating Makes Perfect by Pintip Dunn.
Abbie,
you're so excited about this.
I can't wait.
This is going to be great. Oh my God.
It's
I'm so in love with this.
I think is it our first young adult book?
I think so. It is.
First young adult. It's a
rom-com. We're going to get you all hooked on YA. If you're not already, you're going to be hooked with this book.
Pintip is a New York Times bestselling author who's written a bunch of really wonderful science fiction young adults, and this is one of her rom-coms. So I think you're really, really going to enjoy it.
It's perfect for summer. So get it and read it on the beach.
Summer.
We really love this thing about our group is that we really love to try to just push our readers to do something new.
Mhm.
So we love just every month having a different book in a different genre. And it's been so fun getting to explore a little paranormal, a little romantic suspense, a little, we've just done all these different things. So I'm so excited to jump into a YA. And I love that we're just bringing our readers along and getting to experience all these different genres. So thanks for coming on this journey with us, you guys.
Yeah.
And
we should do like a graph. We should write something up where we have all our old books and what the genres are, so we can really.
Really
that'd be
good
fun.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the books we read last year just won the Vivian, right? For Best Paranormal. Dorinda's.
For Dorinda Jones, yeah.
Oh my God, she was so much fun.
That was such a great night. That was so much fun. So anyway, so I'm really looking forward to having Pin Tip next month and reading her book. It's I read an early version of it. It's wonderful. So it'll be really, really fun.
I can't.
All right. Well, so we'll see you in September, guys. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.